Nobody knows the right way to come out of the closet. But I grew up with 2 lesbian moms and I'm gay. And I studied gay history at Cornell University. I'm gonna tell you the exact words you should use to come out of the closet. But first, please do not come out of the closet if your parents are gonna financially cut you off or kick you out of the house. Those things are way more important than coming out right now. You can always come out later. You're gonna begin by complimenting them. Mom and Dad, I love you, and you're so important to me, so I wanted to let you know that I'm gay. I've been this way my whole life, ever since I was young and started having feelings for other people. I wanted to let you know this because I love you and you're very important to me. That entire script is a trick. First off, it might sound awkward to you, but it's actually really effective, and you're letting them know it's not a phase. You're saying, I've been this way my whole life. This is an intelligent manipulation of psychology and words. I'm gonna make a series on this, follow for that.
Hey Tyler, can I ask you something a little personal? Yeah, of course. What's up? Well, you know that guy I've been dating? The one with the eye patch and the parrot? No, not Matt. Michael. Oh, the one that calls himself a plain daddy and wears V-necks? Sorry, you kind of have a high turnover rate. Well, anyway, he asked me to receive his package this weekend. Oh. And I was wondering, how do you make sure you're cleaned out? Oh, I'm glad you came to me. Here's what I do. First, you take a Dyson vacuum, and yes, it must be name brand. Put it on high and stick it up there. You may get an organ or two, but don't worry about it. Those aren't important. Okay, then take a syringe full of glitter and shoot it up there so it's like opening a Christmas present. Then take a 3-tiered cake, store-bought is fine, and shove as much as you can there. That's why they call eating your bum cake. And that's it. Wow, thank you so much. I think he could be the one. Sure. Have fun!
So today I'm going to tell you about my high school's incident that garnered national attention. So backstory, I grew up in a really small town in East Tennessee, and when I was a freshman in high school, there was a senior who was openly gay, mind you, one of the few openly gay kids, let alone openly gay black kids, in the school and probably in the town in general. So you already know he dealt with a lot of bullshit. Nonetheless, he was super kind and confident in who he was, which you know pissed people off. But anyways, so this girl in journalism decided to write an article about him in the yearbook. So she kind of explored his experience growing up in this town and becoming comfortable in his sexuality. It was really sweet, and she titled it, "It's Okay to Be Gay," and you already know that it faced a lot of backlash. So parents were demanding that the journalism teacher be fired, sending this child death threats, and the worst part of all was they organized a group to go to this kid's graduation and throw wadded up pieces of the article at him while he was walking across the stage. A child! It's also very telling that rather than attack the white girl that wrote the article, they're crucifying this gay black kid literally just for existing. I hope you all rot.
Story time! Okay, so for anybody that doesn't know, I live in a barracks, right? And so I managed to get locked out of my room again today. But you know what? At least I wasn't naked this time. So anyway, so I decided to leave my window unlocked in case this happened again. So I go outside and, I shimmy my way back into my room like a cheap one-night stand. And so, I guess the guy at the front desk saw me do it. So a couple minutes later, he comes banging on my door. And all I hear as soon as I open the door is, "Where's the girl at?" And I'm like, "Whoa, what?" And he goes, "Where's the girl I just saw climbing in through your window?" And I was like, "I don't even like women." And he goes, "Well, I don't care what drawers you're putting your junk in. You can't sneak people into your room." And I was like, wait a minute, that was me climbing in through the window because I got locked out. And he goes, "Oh, well, I'm sorry there. You just got such a feminine figure." I was like, what?
Okay, I'm gonna tell this story because people that I tell it to think it's wild. I got top surgery. I can't show you because TikTok doesn't like trans people, but I got top surgery in November, a long time ago. But leading up to that top surgery, I was always thinking about, I've always wanted to try tasting human flesh. So I thought the most ethical and the best way that I could go about doing that would be to eat myself. But I obviously nobody has a chance to just bite into their arm and eat their own body. So I was like, okay, when I get the girls cut off, I'm gonna ask my doctor if he'll let me keep them, because I kind of want to have one to slow cook and make a meal out of, but I want the other one to sit in a bag in my freezer so that when people pull it out and they're like, "What is this unnamed meat?" I can be like, "My titty, bitch." But unfortunately, when the day came around when I was at my doctor's appointment and I asked him if I could keep them, and I didn't tell him why, he was like, "No, we can't because of biohazard." But if anyone's ever wondered if you can keep your flesh after it is amputated, you can't apparently, which is upsetting.
I think you were trying to read me, but the science behind it's actually pretty interesting. So studies have shown that there actually is a correlation between sexuality and speech pattern. That doesn't mean one causes the other, it just means there's a connection there. It's called the gay lisp, but it's actually not technically a lisp. A lot of gay men talk about being aware of it in themselves around junior high school, and that it was a point where they were bullied for it. And it's definitely a point of insecurity for a lot of gay men still to this day. Speech pathologists don't actually know where it comes from, which is pretty interesting. They think it's that when gay men are younger, they adopt speech patterns of females they look up to. It is something you can unlearn through speech therapy, but there's nothing wrong with sounding like who you are. Anyway, if you're interested, there's a documentary called Do I Sound Gay that talks all about this. And I needed a background, so there's a baby picture of me when I learned these speech patterns.
The ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, did that. In addition to his sculpture, painting, and architecture, Michelangelo composed romantic sonnets in an admiration of his male lovers, who often doubled as his reference models. These writings were censored by his grandnephew, who had all of the male pronouns in the sonnets switched to female pronouns. These weren't restored until 1893, and many modern scholars still insist these relationships were platonic. He is heralded as one of the most important and influential artists and architects in history. Follow for more.
60 seconds. Y'all ready? Let's go. 1. I feel like y'all don't understand the life of a trans girl. I cannot walk outside every day and not be all super fucking glammed and have makeup on and shit. Like, you know what I mean? I don't look like this. 2. I don't understand what y'all expect from us. I'm not a prostitute. I'm not a whore. I'm not just some fuck doll for your boyfriend type shit. Yeah. I'm not. I'm a regular bitch. I'm not your cosmetologist. I don't want to do your lashes. I don't want to do your hair. I don't know how to do that shit for you. I just learned how to do it for myself. No. 3. Please, please, please learn. Don't call me he. Stop that his bullshit. I don't go through this for you to be him, his, all that extra shit. Girl, ma'am, ho. Queen!
Back in high school, I thought I was straight. Then in undergrad, I thought I was asexual. So one day, I'm sitting next to this super attractive girl, and the sexual tension is thick. And, we're talking, and I go, I think I'm asexual. And she looks me up and down, ramping up the sexual tension, looks at me dead in the eyes, snatching my breath away, and goes, really? And I go, yeah, and if I'm not asexual, then I'm most definitely a top. Needless to say, she proved me wrong on all counts. So last night at 4 a.m., I was minding my own business when I noticed that I got a new follower. So I immediately start planning what to say to Ellen when she calls me. Then I noticed who it was. It was her. I haven't seen her since undergrad. She's in another state, and my username does not contain my name. So I'm freaking out. Then I noticed that I got a text from her. And apparently, the algorithm thought she needed to see the results of her work. So it sent the TikTok of me talking about how college made me realize I wasn't straight right to her For You page. Is that normal?
If you want to know how much I didn't give a crap what anybody in high school thought about me, this is what I wore to my senior prom. And this pride flag in the back pocket is what I wore to graduation, where I gave a speech. And if you want to know why this is important, I was living in a country where being gay is punishable by the death penalty. Here's my list of POC WLW movies that you should probably go watch. Some classics that you've already heard of, and some that you might not. We'll see. Fingers crossed. The Handmaiden. I would recommend watching this again because scenes from the beginning take a whole different meaning. Rafiki. This movie literally made history, so go be a part of history and watch 2 cute gay people fall in love in Kenya. I apologize because I'm not going to be able to say the name of this movie, but if you're just looking for cute gays, goofy side characters, and a supportive straight man, go watch it. It's on Netflix. I Can't Think Straight is full of cliches and tropes, but it was kind of at a time when they weren't cliches and tropes, so I give them that. And also, if you fall in love with the actors' chemistry, watch The World Unseen, because they're also in that. Saving Face and The Half of It are tied for my second favorite gay movie of all time, so definitely go watch it. They're both by Alice Wu, and part 2 coming soon.
This is how Ivy League gays answer the question, where did you go to college? Yale. If he went to Yale, he's probably wearing this really subtle y'all shirt and answers this question by saying, I went to school in New Haven, they have the best pizza. This is a flex to suggest that he can still maintain this body at 28 while eating gluten and dairy, but he definitely can't. Oh, and if he went to the Yale School of Drama, he'll just say he went to Yale. Harvard. If he went to Harvard, there's only one way to answer this question, gay or straight. I went to school in Boston, but gays take it a step further by then clarifying, actually I went to school specifically in Cambridge, if you know what that is. And then you'll feel kind of pressured to ask, oh, what school in Cambridge? And then they'll tell you they went to Harvard, but only because you absolutely pried it out of them. Oh, the University of Pennsylvania. Penn gays are great because you don't even need to ask them where they went to college. They'll tell you within about a minute of meeting you. It'll probably be just casually slipped into a story about coming out to their fraternity brothers and everyone accepting them with open arms. They'll tell the story with this kind of tone.
I'm an Ivy League. I went to an Ivy League college. I went to the Wharton School of Finance, which is the best business school in the world. I'm like a smart